when they commit crimes, and I am just absolutely thrilled that this is happening. These are very sophisticated cameras. You will have an opportunity, of course, to look at them inside, what they look like in terms of how they are basically the surveillance all over the area right here. One single unit, 4 cameras right here. So I'm very, very excited about this, all the work. It took a while, it's, a little bureaucracy here and there, but we're finally here. It's happening. And let me tell you something. Everybody else wants these cameras as well, and by all means, why not? If Manhattan can have them because it helps with security, why not every other community? So I thank Secure Watch for their efforts, for hanging in there, working with us. Let me introduce to you Senator Simmelfelder, who has worked with me on this project to finally make this happen. Senator Felder.
Thank you very much. Again, I want to thank Attorney Skelos and Assemblyman Hikind for their leadership and commitment on this issue. I just want to talk about one specific point. Some people, some naysayers say, what's the need for the cameras? Why the cameras here? And what we would say to the naysayers, sorry, my notes. Some naysayers will say, why are the cameras here? What's the necessity? What's this all about? And we would say to the naysayers that we must do everything humanly possible to assist law enforcement in preventing terrorism, pedophiles, or any other person or group that seeks to harm New Yorkers. And as Assemblyman Hikind said, these cameras should be made available everywhere, but particularly in this neighborhood and these areas where we know that law enforcement has said that we've been targeted for terrorism, as well as the issues that we have talked about of pedophiles and anyone seeking to hurt New Yorkers, whether in this community or any other community. So that today is certainly a day that we are very proud of and look forward, to being able to install the other cameras as well.
Thank you very, very much. Next, let me introduce someone else I've worked with. And as everybody here knows, we had a press conference 2 years ago, and it's literally taken us all this time to finally get to this point where I don't have to tell you the cameras are going up, the cameras are up and continuing every single day to be put up throughout these different neighborhoods. Let me introduce to you my colleague, Assemblymember Hikind.
Thank you, Doug. These cameras will work rain or shine. As you can see today, they are essential to help protect our communities, the safety of our children. I was proud to stand with my colleagues 2 years ago when this announcement was made. Few of the cameras are in my district, but many of the students who live in my district attend schools that have to pass by streets that will now have cameras. They go to schools that will have cameras nearby intersections. They often attend school much later than the students that do after-school programs, attend schools late. When it's dark, these cameras will provide safety. I want to echo the feeling that they should be expanded in other communities. I think this is the first step in this work and support for expanding cameras in other communities.
Thank you. Again, just let me reiterate, I almost have very little to say because I've been saying it for 2 years. This is one of the great moments for me personally. It's tangible, it's real. We made it happen, all of us. Those cameras are real. They will provide additional protection. And when you think about it, there are basically 320 of them spread throughout. It's going to make a difference. We might save lives. That's pretty huge. That's pretty incredible. So, what can I tell you? I'm very, very excited. Let me introduce to you leader of the Flatbush showroom. Again, those are the watchers. They're involved. They work closely with the police department. They're very excited about this. By the way, we've had a number of, over the past number of months, being knockout attacks. Thank God in the end, someone was apprehended. But I got to tell you, if we had had the cameras up during that period of time, knowing where these attacks took place in our community, I can tell you 4 different locations where cameras are going up, we would have apprehended that person within days. So these things are very huge. I'm going to call them my babies. Just thought about it. I'm really very excited about this very tangible, very real thing that we're doing to secure our community. Let me point out one of the things before this watching. It says a number of years ago, I was responsible for obtaining another $1 million for surveillance cameras for all of the train stations in my community. You go to any of my stations, on Utrecht Avenue in Borough Park, trains down here on McDonald, you know, if you commit a crime, you're on camera. And thank God, I got to tell you that in all of these places, we have not had, literally, we haven't had a crime committed. So it's quite incredible. Let me give you leader of the Flatbush Showroom, Bob Moskowitz.
I'd like to congratulate and thank Assemblyman Hikind for seeing this initiative to fruition. A lot of people might have got discouraged over the extended time that this took for it to see its completion, but you didn't start with it. Thank you very much. Everybody knows that video footage today is probably the best crime fighting tool that we have today. And the fact remains that the Flatbush Showroom are looking forward to work with these cameras in conjunction with the police department to apprehend all kinds of perpetrators that will be working around the community. And I'm certain that this will have a very beneficial
Again, I mentioned we have Yankee here as well. He's the leader of the Borough Park Showroom, and they're doing an incredible job. I'm not leaving. None of us are leaving. We're here. You can actually, inside of this vehicle for Secure Watch, you can actually watch this corner. That video camera, basically, the 4 different cameras, the entire scene over here. It's absolutely exciting. And wonderful. And right behind me, there's a security initiative. There's little red pins that are there, dripping with a little bit of rain. That's where they're going, and they're going all over. This is huge. You know, this is huge. 320 cameras, 80 units covering our area. And as a number of people have said, why not us? And my answer is, you're absolutely correct. Talk to your elected officials, members of the council, others, and you know why every bit of security. Like I said, one of the stories, you know, the tragedy of a couple of years ago of the young boy who disappeared. That was responsible for this initiative. That's what made me say, if the camera was responsible for finding this boy, as tragic as the results were, my God. So I am, what can I tell you? I'm a very happy guy today. And I thank, again, Dean Scalos, who when I approached him, the majority leader of the Senate, when I approached him, I got to tell you, he said yes, without blinking his, you know, he just said, yes, we're doing this. So, thank God.
Can you answer some questions?
Yeah, any questions? Okay, one second. Des, you want to say a few words? This is the man, Des Smith. I didn't even mention his name. This guy has had, let me tell you, this has been 2 years of, you talk about government and meetings and more meetings and more meetings. This is the guy from Secure Watch. He's the expert. You can ask his questions afterwards. He'll give you the technical stuff. But this has been an unbelievable trip. He's now actually part of my family. We've been spending so much time together. So this is wonderful. Des,
It's not that difficult. Thank you all for coming out in the rain. I'm a retired New York City detective, and I'm a local boy, so it's customers in 7 minutes now. These cameras are being integrated into a ongoing citywide safety initiative, a very successful program that has been running the better part of 2 years now. They'll be integrated into a 6,000 camera network that the city uses extensively day-to-day throughout the city to fight crime, to fight drugs, to fight other issues. We're excited to be part of it. We were excited when the Assemblyman came to us and asked us to design and build a system. We knew exactly what we wanted to do, and for 2 years we're here now. And again, more to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
How many cameras do you actually have up now?
There's 12 cameras. Just began installing them about 2 days ago.
So how many, and when will you actually finish the 320?
This will go on throughout the spring. We're anticipating 10 a week would be the pace we'd like to keep. If we can do it faster, we'll do it faster.
And the total amount of money would be how much for the whole system?
$1 million.
$1 million was what was budgeted for.
$1 billion.
$1 million.
$1 billion.
Yeah, and let me just point out that with $1 million, there's not one single penny of that going for any administrative expenses. It's all directly for the units, which is
Who
quite
actually
impressive.
will see the video first? I'm asking you, who will see the video first?
The NYPD will do video.
So it goes right to the Lower Manhattan Security Center, or
The
where?
Real-Time Crime Center is the only facility that has access to these cameras, and they will only access these cameras when they need them.
So, so will it be real time? Do you see it on real time, or do you see it post after the fact?
It depends when the cameras. Most of it will be after the fact. The real time, depending on what the circumstances are. If they're looking for a lost child, in case of private prison, or they're looking for a burglary pattern, they have different criteria as to when they will utilize the cameras. Again, the NYPD and the DCPI, Deputy Commissioner of Public Information, will be more than happy to comment on how they'll use the cameras.
What is the criteria for what they think is school or a college or a college or a school that they're planning to do? Who decided hours to work?
We worked on that in my office along with the 66th precinct and the 70th precinct. We gave them a list. We went out there, spent weeks and weeks and months to look at the different locations, find the areas that we felt, representing the area for 31 years, we wanted to take a close look where we thought the right places were. Now, I wish we had double. It would be even greater, but this is a huge thing that is happening. And we gave our list to the 66th precinct, the commander, and to the 70th. And by the way, they did make a couple of changes, and we implemented that, and that's what the list is all about.
So you have
Everything is funded from the government. The $1 million is from the state. No, J.P. Morgan, that's another story. J.P. Morgan, the reason they're involved is because they get paid, the company gets paid as the cameras are installed. Someone needs to put the money out. Who puts the money out? J.P. Morgan was wonderful in working with us to make it happen. And that took quite a while, but they agreed to working with us to make this happen. Because they need to get paid, someone needs to put the money out. The organization, I put it in Israel, they don't have $1 million to put out before they get reimbursed. So that's just a technical thing. Well, the expert is not here, but if we see there needs to be changes, of course, we can always do that. Yeah, moving cameras around to more important areas. If there's crime in a certain area, moving
when you move the cameras around, you see speed cameras, for example. The city said they're going to move them around as they feel necessary.
I just want to clarify, these are not speed cameras, they're not traffic cameras. They are security cameras. Those can be moved literally at any minute. But they're network controllable, cameras are mobile devices. If there's a reason to move them, they want to get involved in
Another item that I think that we have to emphasize is there are two components. One is prevention, and one is the use of the cameras for gathering information. The city has for many years had cameras, what they call fake cameras in places to discourage people from running a light or things like that. These cameras really take care of two different things. One is the actual whether it's a crime or, God forbid, terrorism, having these cameras and the footage to be able to use to gather information of something that occurred. But they also clearly serve as prevention in making sure that people know that there are cameras out there to assist law enforcement in gathering the information. So it's not merely the cameras that exist that are actually doing the work. The cameras help in making sure that whether it's terrorism, pedophiles, or others that seek to hurt New Yorkers, understand that there are cameras around. Whether it's these cameras or they have to think that there may be other cameras around as well recording the activity that's taking place.
Mr. Smith, in the case of Livy Kletsky, explain how this camera system would have helped. Would they have gone real time to look for him, or would it be mainly after the fact?
No, they could go real time at any minute. And exactly why the camera system was designed in the way it was designed. It is made to be active and open immediately, to get as many first responders involved. Even our company, other first responders could be immediately tasked with searching the cameras fast.
How fast is immediate?
He says, pick up a laptop and open it up. That's how fast.
Okay, so that's real time, but then you also will record as well, right?
Yeah, the recording is taking place all the time.
So how many cameras will you go real time immediately? You know, all 12 cameras.
All of them go real time immediately. They all have an independent network. Those antennas are grabbing the networks in the area, and anyone can access them. As many people can access them at the same time. An individual camera can be accessed by several investigators or first responders.
So if NYPD says to you, we need to search for somebody, you could then transfer the signal to the Lower Manhattan Security Center?
No, the Lower Manhattan Security Center goes in immediately. They have no delay in that.
So they can, on their own, decide to go into your
The
system?
minute this camera goes live, they are notified that the camera's live. It drops into their network map of now 6,000 plus cameras. And if they need it, they take it under the criteria that it was designed to be.
And the Shamrin Patrol, what access do they have to get to the
They have
camera?
no access.
Let me just again, going back to the time when, which I never will forget, that summer when we were looking for a little boy. I'll never forget that because I was out there for 20 hours straight. And I remember everybody was like, you know, where can we find a camera? Anybody, anything, you know, something. No one knew where this child was. And I'm only thinking to myself afterwards, can you imagine if we had all these cameras which are going up all over the place? It would have been almost instantaneously that we would have been able to get that kind of information. So, you know, again, this is not, you know, like, okay, now no more crime, no more anything, but this is definitely going to contribute. And I told some police officers that were down the block, they said, what's going on here? And I told them, and they said, oh my God, that is fabulous. And I think that basically is everybody's reaction. This is another tool, and if it saves a life or makes a difference in the community with regard to serious crime that's going on, we're all going to see the results of this.
Mr. Smith, one last question if you don't mind. Sorry, but could this system, if it had been in place 3 years ago, have saved Livy Kletsky's life?
As a former detective, anything that would have helped would have been good to have in place. Obviously, if Livy Kletsky had walked by one of these cameras, there was an opportunity to find out who had him sooner. It's an obvious question. I don't think it needs me or even a security expert to answer that.
How long will information be stored?
It depends on the camera. We're looking for an average of 10 to 20 days in storage. They could go longer. They have extremely large hard drives in place. All the storage happens at the device.
Yes. Well, this press conference is to say Mazel Tov to everybody, all the people that were involved, all the people that worked on making this happen. And that is to provide the Borough Park, Midwood, Flatbush area, an area where literally 400,000 or 500,000 people live. That we have